and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the 6th book in the Zodiac Academy series called Fated Throne by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. Per usual, I will be going into the summary of this book, so if you wish to skip that because there will be spoilers, I'll put a timestamp in the description so you can just skip to my overall thoughts and rating of this book. I will warn you that I will be going into some not so good topics like torture and rape. If you also wish to avoid all that, then I'll give a little warning before I talk about it, but if you also want to skip that, you can just skip to the overall rating and review if you're not comfortable with hearing about that. But other than that, let's get started to the summary. Okay, well, this one also starts off at kind of like a little bit after the end of the 5th book. It's now Darius's birthday, and Darcy, Darius, Max, Caleb, and Seth are still looking for the Imperial Star. They're also doing like nymph raids and all that, or like nymph hunting. So they now have weapons that were forged from Darcy. Tori made an appearance during Darius's birthday. Darius tried to reach Tori, but she's lost to the shadows for now. And also, Xavier wants the love of his father, and he recalls like a moment where where Lionel was actually a nice man. Kind of hard to believe, but Seth, Caleb, and Max's siblings are also starting their first year at Zodiac, and Xavier has 3 elements. I think he has fire, earth, and water. The heirs stayed the night with Darcy. Tori doesn't recognize Darcy and is sitting with like Mildred, Kylie, and what's her name? The other one that was like that dated Darius, but like I don't remember her name, but I know it starts with an M. But anyway, they're also trying to get an order suppressant antidote from Gabriel. Tori is brainwashed, and she thinks Darius is the one who burnt her flesh and Lionel was the one who saved her. That's not true. Lionel was crowned king and made the other counselors vow to support him. Darius caught Lance up with everything that has happened. Lance needs Darcy to break this star vow because he's like, he has a bunch of bad luck going on in prison. Lionel is crafting a new law that separates lesser orders from the higher ones. I guess I'm not. And doesn't want people hanging around, or people of other orders hanging out with each other / crossbreeding. Okay, I think Lionel will be great friends with certain people in history. Darcy freed Lance from the star vow, and supposedly, I guess Tori said that a storm dragon was hurting her, or is hurting her, even though she's the one who's hurting herself with like the storm dragon runes. Oh my god. The heirs, Gabriel and Darcy, try to give Tori the antidote to no avail because she ran off, and also used the shadows to like smack them all into different trees. Lionel, and then she rushes to call Lionel talk about what happens. And so Lionel gets off on pain and instructed Tori to torture herself. Zodiac beat Aurora Academy again. Seth, Caleb, and Rosalie have a threesome. Rosalie doesn't want to be a third wheel with Seth and Caleb. There's a man in Darkmoor named Poltergeist who knew Lance's father and served Craven Dyer. Lance was finally able to read his father's diary, and he is now under house arrest thanks to Lionel, and because Lance is now the key to finding the Imperial Star. Lance and Darius snuggled and caught up on everything again. Gabriel brought Darcy and Seth to see Lance and Darius, and Lance is getting jealous with Darcy and Seth. Gabriel. Geraldine is supposed to marry Justin, and Lionel is going to kill every Fae order that he deems less than him. Okay. Trigger warning, I'm gonna be talking about what went on with, or not really like go into detail, but like kind of like basically the synopsis of what Tori's torture was like, so and it's not very pleasant, I'll tell you that. It wasn't pleasant reading it either. Can't imagine what she went through. Where am I? Oh, they freed Tori from the shadows and freed her Phoenix and removed the dark coercion. Max is fixing Tori's memories and Devard's vial. Basically her torture was like burning her flesh and like all this brainwashing crap. And then Vard infiltrating her mind, like putting false memories in her head of what Darius did to her, like happy memories that she had with Darius, like sweet memories, and like turning them into something absolutely vile. Like Darius, there's a moment, I think there's a scene in the book where they're in the bed and it just Darius sexually assaults her. That's obviously not what really happened, but that's what they're turning her memories into, to something gross, and it's seeming like Lionel is the savior. Also, Clara also gets involved, or whoever the hell, but she like stabs Tori, and yeah. Just word of caution if you are going to read this book. Okay. Max and Geraldine, again, they're very cute. Yeah. Tori is back to herself, mostly, and also Geraldine's father, Hamish, is finding supporters. Darcy, Tori, and Gabriel fly together. Xavier's relationship with the other heir siblings is kind of cute. Xavier's crush on Sophia is cute. And Xavier and Tyler's rivalry is kind of funny. Tori reunited with Orion and kicked him in the balls. Lionel stabbed Darius with a steak knife, and Lionel is now moving on to Sphinx and Minotaurs, as he deems the lessers, after he deemed the Tiberian? What are they're the brat shifters, I don't remember. And then, Tori snuggled with Lionel. Ew. And also Lance is teaching Darcy with illusion magic. Tori and Darcy find out Lionel was the one to manipulate Hale Vega, their father. Darius took Tori out on a date to New York City, and that Fae and mortals can never be together. Nice to know. But who's that going to stop? More nymph hunting. Now, Tori is joining in now with the nymph hunting, and I think also Geraldine joined. She joined in. No, she didn't. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. Lionel used dark coercion on Dante because he wants Dante to put another baby into one of his cousins. Dante was not having that. Tori and Dante dance, and Tori removes the dark coercion on him. And then dances with Darius. Lance and Tori save... Oh, hold on. Another trigger warning, okay? Okay, be ready. Lance and Tori save Catalina from getting raped. And Gabriel shows up, and him and Dante take her to Hamish's. Yes, but they also fake her death to make it seem like the dude who was about to sexually assault her killed her, so Lionel doesn't know. Okay, yeah. Drunk Orion is funny as fuck. Darius doesn't plan on giving up the throne. Lance knows where the Imperial Star is. Max, Darcy, Tori, Lance, Caleb, Seth, and Geraldine and Darius are going to get the Imperial Star. And Tori and Darcy gifted Geraldine a weapon, a flail, what it was. They were fighting Reaper Hounds and the Undead, and Caleb is starting to possibly develop feelings for Seth. Darcy and Lance kiss, and Darcy is pissed off at herself for doing that. Geraldine is fighting Undead, and Darcy isn't having really fun, because Lance is possessed by something. Darius nearly succumbs to the Reaper Hounds. Tori saves him, so he's fine. Lance is the new Zodiac Guild Master. Darcy is keeping the Imperial Star safe for now that they have it. Lance threw Lion off about the Imperial Star. Darcy is going to keep the Imperial Star safe, and that they need to go to the Palace of the Flame. Xavier passed the Reckoning. Now there's Order Enhancement. The Pegasus Professor is Professor Clippard, but the Xavier nicknames him Professor Clip-Clop. Or the students actually do, I think. Yeah, Xavier and Tyler finger Sophia during the Halloween party. Exclusive Halloween party, and also Geraldine is teaching everybody a dance. So, Max is still helping Tori with her fucked up memories. Max's parentage has been exposed. Tori got a matching tattoo with Darius. Hers says there is only him, and his says there is only her. Yes. The heirs make voice messages to support Max. Geraldine took Xavier and Darius to see Catalina. Catalina is happy. She's nicknamed Kitty by Hamish, and she nicknames Hamish Hammy. And there's more info about the Imperial Star and that only Vegas can use it. Plan to get Gabriel in Royal Seer Chamber on Christmas Eve. And Darcy and Lance are looking for Diego's hat. Gabriel gave an ominous prophecy while he was in the Royal Seer Chamber. Lance and Darcy found Diego's hat and then got caught by Clara and Stella. Darcy burned away the shadows for Lance and after she's almost dying, because Lance is also stabbing her repeatedly because he's being controlled by the shadows. They both got away and killed Diego's mother in the process. Caleb and Seth were about to have sex, but they got interrupted by Xavier, who was looking for a sandwich, I think. Vard and Gravebone doing experiments on people. Gravebone was the dude who was supposed to do conversion therapy on Xavier. Caleb, Seth, and Xavier saved Eugene Dipper, who I believe was in Ruthless Boys, and then freed more people, and they beat Gravebone to death. Deserved. Huh? Lance and Darcy viewed Diego's memories. Princess Lavina and the alliance with the ACRUXes. I think Princess Lavina is the princess of the nymphs and the shadow stuff, so let's see. Oh, Lionel, Vard, and Clara found Lance and Darcy at Gabriel's winter cabin, I believe. Tori has been made. Vard, Clara, and Lionel trying to brainwash her again, and Lionel burned her tattoo off. Lionel is forcing Darius to marry Mildred, otherwise he will continue to abuse Tori along with Vard. Well, Vard will also join him, Vard seems to be a fucking creep. Gabriel disguised himself as Mildred as payback to what Darius did to mostly Tori and Darcy. Gabriel taking Darius to the Cave of the Forgotten to try to save Tori and Darcy from death. Lionel sentences Lance and Darcy to death via nymphs. Seth, Dante, Max, Hamish, Caleb, Rosalie, Geraldine, and the rebels have arrived to save Lance, Darcy, Tori, and Xavier. Max killed the dragon, and Lance killed Seth, and Seth is all very happy about that. And Caleb and Tori fighting because Tori is bonded to Lionel via the Guardian Bond, so Darius is seeing visions of the people he loves dying and getting hurt in the Cave of the Forgotten. And then Caleb. Caleb saved and healed Xavier. I'm pretty sure, because Caleb mentions his cousin, and I'm pretty sure Elise and Leon were there fighting as well, because they mentioned the new man lion, so but they don't like really explicitly say who they are, but you know. Darcy got cursed by Princess Lavina. Lance killed Clara, and she's now finally free to go to the afterlife. Darius gave up his life, or like 1 year. He has 1 year to be with Tori to save. Hold on. He gave up his life to save Tori, so he has 1 year to set everything right with her before. Yes. Tori was free from the Guardian Bond and burned Lionel's hand, and everybody escaped. But sadly, they are all wanted now. And that's pretty much all that happened in Fated Throne. Fated Throne, a 5-star. I really like how now it seems like the war between the twins and Lionel is pretty much ramping up. I kind of kind of interesting to know what might happen next, but I'm also kind of scared because I know that means there's probably gonna be some characters are gonna die, and I'm happy that Catalina finally got away from Lionel and seems to be flirting with Hamish. I hope nothing goes wrong between those two, but anything could go wrong, right? I'm glad Tori broke free from Lionel and burned his hand off. She should have killed him, to be honest. She should have burned everything, ended right then and there, but then they have to deal with this Lavina, so and Vard, because let's see. Oh, and Darcy's relationship with Caleb, Seth, Max, and Darius are pretty good. It's pretty soft, like protecting, like, you know, like sibling relationship. But yeah, I like their whole dynamic, and also how Geraldine kind of is in the mix now as part of the main circle. I'm glad that Lance and Darcy kind of recover the relationships, kind of, sorta. Let's see. Oh, and then also Lance was able to finally free Clara, and she gets to go be with her father in the afterlife, so that's good for her, but it's kind of sad. She didn't deserve all of that, like, to just watch someone possess your body and you're kind of like, I guess, use your body as a puppet and do all these horrible things. And let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just hope they just kick Lionel's ass and kill him in the end, I swear. Because all of that stuff he was doing to Tori was fucking gross. Also in Vard, though, no. Just nasty business, nasty, and also experimenting on people. Why? I don't know. Like I said before, I think Lionel would be great friends with some certain people in history. Especially when he's deeming people or like a different fae of lesser, like, and then higher. Like, who the hell are you to say that? And what makes them so less than you? You know what I mean? I don't know. And experimenting on people. Yeah. Well, whatever. However way Lionel goes out, it's deserved. And I hope Tori is the one to do it. But anyway. Let me know what you guys thought of Fated Throne. In the comments below if you want to. Whether you liked it or didn't like it. I think next time we'll be taking another break from Zodiac Academy. I probably think I probably need it, because who knows what's going to happen in book 7, and I want to be prepared for the inevitable thing that's going to happen to Darius, I assume, because he only has 1 year left of his life, so hopefully he makes it a good one. Yes, so next time I believe I'll be talking about the first book in the Stathos Sisters duology called The Shadows Between Us. I believe it's young adult, so that would be good for me, because I need to get away from all of what just happened in the 6th book, because it's a big doozy. Yes, but so that's what we'll talk about next time, or I'll talk about next time. So anyway, if you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more from me, then please hit subscribe and check out all the other books that I've talked about in a playlist that I've either linked in the description or on my channel. And until next time, bye for now.